What happens when you realize that someone you trusted held the very weapon that was being used against you? What happens when you realize that you were ambushed and it wasn't random? It was rehearsed, it was planned. Being blindsided is spiritual warfare, and it is disguised as human behavior. For the chosen, this experience is not just emotional, it marks a turning point, a rupture, a line in the sand, because the ones who blindsided you studied you, observed you, and they were testing your limits of your patience. And long before they ever delivered the blow. And others may say to you, you should have known. You should have seen the signs. We saw them, but you overlooked the red flags. So chosen people don't walk around expecting betrayal because your heart is clean. Your motives are steady. You speak with sincerity. So you don't assume sabotage where you offered loyalty. But this world operates differently. Some people are loyal only to convenience. Some stand near you only to take inventory. And some keep your company only to measure your resilience, to see what you are made of. Every chosen one encounters a moment of betrayal where the veil drops, where the real intention behind someone's presence in your life becomes undeniable, and it hits us hard, especially and because it wasn't an outsider, it wasn't a stranger, it was someone close, someone in proximity, someone with access. You were blindsided because your energy exposed something in them. You were blindsided because your peace disrupted all their drama. Here you come with this Pollyanna attitude and behavior, and you're reserved. So your potential made them uncomfortable. Again, remember, their spirit senses something in us long before they get to know us. So when they start getting close, it's not because they know who we are. Their spirit knows, but they need confirmation. They need confirmation through access. And then they work on a plan to eliminate the competition. Some people don't attack you because of what you've done. It's all because of who you are. And often we don't get betrayed by enemies. We get betrayed by the ones who have pretended to be our allies, our friends, people who loved and cared about us, who was committed to our well-being. But these moments is not an ending for us because it's an unveiling. It shows that that individual was never meant to walk with you into your purpose. The first time it happens to you, you're surprised. The next time it hits you, you are being taught. And after that, you start seeing in ways others don't. You don't become suspicious, you become spiritually observant. And from that moment forward, no one can stand near you with concealed motives without you sensing the tension hidden beneath their smile. Your innocence will begin to evolve into wisdom. What they do doesn't just expose them, it exposes also their agenda. People who perform kindness, they rehearse, they practice that they're loyal. They're not committed to it, they practice. It's fake, phony. And when that moment comes for you to choose honesty and for them to choose honesty, they're going to choose comfort. All they know is your presence is interfering with what they have going on. So they come to stand with you because they choose the crowd. You heard of the saying, keep your enemies close? They see you as an enemy. When the moment comes to support you, they'll choose silence. That's the first indicator. The reason that they're in your life isn't with good intentions. And the moment they blindside you, their real intention steps forward. It's a psychological betrayal. And they're not betraying you because of weakness. They're betraying you because you are strong in their spirit. They can feel it. Even if you try to remain aloof, reserved, soft, and they refuse to confront within themselves what's in you. They refuse to confront it because they don't want to learn anything more. They don't want to grow. They're comfortable. They need the status quo to remain because they feel they're thriving even if they're going nowhere. So you come with stability and it unsettles them. You have insight that challenges them. And your success pressures their stagnation. You being liked or chosen or immediately people take to you, it pressures them being stagnant. So rather than they try to elevate themselves, instead, They don't want to meet their own potential, they target yours. And it's not spontaneous, they prepare for it. So they'll gather allies, they'll spread narratives, they'll hint at what their concerns are about you in order to shape perceptions before the blow ever landed. Comfortable betraying someone who held no malice. They're comfortable attacking someone who meant no harm. They are comfortable giving up someone who only ever gave sincerity. And so the chosen experience a specific type of blindsiding. It is betrayal mixed with envy. Betrayal mixed with envy. It's not just betrayal, it's you being blindsided. And they may get close to you and pretend that they're concerned. See, they saw your potential. They feared your future. Maybe they observed what others celebrated when you're present. They wanted the benefits of being near you, but they're not the responsibility, and they were frustrated that you had what they didn't. So rather than you enjoy it in your life benefit, they rather take it. And they believed your kindness meant you were easy. You were easy to get rid of. But they miscalculated your protection, your strength, your power. We survive hits that would destroy others. We won't crumble. We'll just adjust. We don't have to chase after you. We'll just detach. And we don't have to retaliate. But we'll move forward with a sharper discernment. Yes, it revealed them. Yes, it exposed their weakness. Yes, it exposed their hidden dissatisfaction with your life. It exposed the truth you weren't meant to overlook anymore. And now you're going to do things differently. Not harsher, not colder, but you're going to be wiser. You're going to be more intentional in your walk, in your gift, in your calling, on purpose. You're going to be alert to spiritual patterns that try to show up and intimidate you. You're going to be able to stand when they try to come against you. They may not come alone, but you're going to be more selective with your access. People can still stand near you, but they can't stand close unless their intention matches their words. That's how you're going to learn more. You're going to mature. And your comeback, it won't be loud. It won't be the revenge that everyone else has in their minds, like a fantasy. Oh, this person's going to come back. I guarantee you they'll do this. But it'll make others paranoid, walk on eggshells, because they know what was done to you was horrific and planned. But there's going to be a quiet elevation that will always follow you. It's going to follow your pain. What's up high will never let a chosen individual walk in that level of pain unprovoked. Didn't contribute to it without giving them something for it that they can carry it and have a little bit of relief. So after this blindsiding happened, remember, blindsiding is different than just being betrayed because it is combined with envy. That means you shifted something in them internally. A new awareness will awaken in you. A deeper sense of direction emerges. A new spiritual assignment will become active because blindsiding doesn't just hurt, it also repositions you in your calling and your gift. And you're going to begin to outgrow those places and people you tolerated. You're going to distance yourself from people you excused and gave chances. And you're going to detach from environments that drained you, where you couldn't see it coming. And you're going to stop negotiating with behaviors that caused you harm. That's going to be your upgrade, because a blinding will force us into a higher version of ourselves because the pain is just that deep. See, their hit was to weaken you, to remove you. But instead, for us, we become unlocked because we don't rise the same way after pain. Our voice deepens. You can, I'll leave that. Your walk is going to strengthen. Your insight will sharpen and your intuition will heighten. You start recognizing the patterns instantly because when you get hurt that deep, it is no way you can't avoid it. You see it coming. It's deeper than a red flag. It doesn't have to show up in red flags because you're going to be able to discern motives faster and identify danger that's in silence, danger that is not in drama, because you're going to be able to detect deception without needing proof, and you're going to begin to understand something profound. The blindsiding became the very event that pushed you into your next season. It pushes us. It forces us because called individuals don't just lie down and die. They'll lie down, but they have to get back up. It's wired in them to get back up. So some people had to betray you so your spirit could detach from them fully. You can just arch your back. You ain't going back. All that love you had, all the money you gave, all the time you gave, all the nurturing you gave, you recognize that that connection has to collapse because your purpose is going to expand. And you're going to accept that those relationships will have to end so your assignment could breathe. And the reason why we don't break, because our foundation is not built on people. Our purpose does not depend on their approval. Neither does our destiny hinge on whether or not they are loyal to us. Our path is guided by something higher, something older and ancient, something is wise, something that is wiser, and something that is intentional, that is covering our life. And once we've been blindsided and we survive it, you will walk in a presence that unsettles anyone that ever doubted you, intimidated you, robbed you, violated you, told you what you will never be, ensured that you were never given an opportunity or a chance. You had to get it from grit, from the dirt, by using strategy and prayer and tears. And this is not revenge, though, on your part. This is just your truth. That's just how you rise. And you're going to become the person they never expected you to become because you're going to elevate in ways they never predicted. They can't see what you see. You can't see what's going to happen. You're going to step into the opportunities they never imagined, transforming your pain into mastery. A pain that hurts that deep makes you a master once you heal. And the same people who blindsided you become the same people watching you from a distance, realizing that the blow didn't end you. Now it's introducing you to others. It's not what they expected. And why? Because they were on demon time. That's right, demon time. Your haters aren't just reckless. They're on demon time because your presence exposes everything they tried to hide. So people get activated in your presence, not because you did something wrong, but because your existence, your glow, interrupts their plans. So they can't rest, they're not settled, they can't even sit still. Your name alone rattles whatever they build on weak intentions. You are the reminder that what they did in the dark, what they're doing in the dark, wasn't enough to bury you. What they said when you weren't around wasn't enough to define you. What they hoped would break you only revealed your calling. They're on demon time because you stepped into timing that's not controlled by them. And no, you do not fold, shrink, or lose your voice. And that makes them furious. Their drama becomes your confirmation, and their obsession with you becomes your evidence. And them blindsiding you becomes your validation. You don't have to fight back. Just keep rising. That alone torments them more than retaliation ever could. Let's talk. I'm going to call you family because there comes a moment in each of our lives and each of our journeys when the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Your haters are not just irritated, they're jealous because your life exposes what they hope would never be seen. And the most dangerous part of it all, you didn't even have to do anything. It was your presence alone that sets off all the alarms inside people who are hoping you would never stand in your identity. And so people react intensely when they realize they can't control you. And that's when the switch flips. They drop the mask, they morph, they develop multiple personalities. You ever notice when that room gets quiet when you walk in and you're not loud? Your presence confront everything they're doing in the dark against you. Your haters stay activated because of your confidence, your truth, your resilience. Your resilience destroys their predictions on what your life is going to be. And so your progress ruins their narratives. And I say they're on demon time because they never expected you to stand up, rise up, or even wake up. They thought you would stay small, stay broken, and stay confused, but you are not. You didn't, and you will never be broken, confused, or small. And now they feel threatened by the fact that their plan failed. And so your growth feels like attack to them because they're bitter spirits. And so your healing looks like hostility. To an insecure person, your self-respect looks like rebellion. Who are you to feel secure? Who are you to think you somebody? And to a manipulator, those that want to control you, Put the fear of God in you. Your boundaries will feel like betrayal because they're not angry because you did something wrong. They're angry because you are no longer available or vulnerable for their tactics. Your elevation is not harming them, it's just exposing the truth in you that they needed buried. They needed it wiped off the face of the earth. And when they live in their denial for so long, your transformation becomes the light. They can't escape. It seems like you're everywhere. You're following them. Everything that goes wrong, you did it. You don't have to even be around. And this is why they watch you, they imitate you, they gossip about you. This is why they compete with you without your participation. Isn't competition meaning that you're competing with someone? What happens when you're not competing with them? Because your growth reveals their stagnation. They can't grow past you. And it's a point, it's going to be a specific moment you can point to when their hate crosses over into full blown obsession with your life. And that's when they realize you don't need them, not for validation, for permission, protection, or survival. Because you're going to detach from the opinions of the unqualified. They are unqualified to speak into your life or over your life. They lose the ability to influence your direction or decisions. And that loss of control will create panic when someone is trying to control you and direct you and guide you off a cliff. And their panic, they'll try to project onto you to make you fear everything, to let you believe you're making the wrong decision. Your projection is going to become hostile towards them. And hostility come fixation. They get fixed on you. And that fixation is why they are now on demon time, as I call it, because checking for you, talking about you, trying to monitor you, but pretending they don't care. Now just call it demon time and keep walking because you became the preoccupation the moment you broke free. Every chosen person knows this truth. The moment you step into who you really are, spiritual opposition intensifies. It gets worse for us because we are not weak and they realize we are strong. And some of the attacks that we face are not coming from the person in front of you, it's coming from the spirit behind the behavior. Because people who have never done anything meaningful in their life will try to distract you the moment you begin walking in purpose. They'll try to confuse you and make you think that the way that you're moving and what you desire to do, you're too old, you're not the right gender, you don't have the education, you don't have the experience, you're not shaped right, you walk funny, you're not pretty, you're too dark, you're too light. People who see your potential before you do will try to sabotage it before it matures because they sense your calling and they will try to discredit it before it manifests. That's called demon time to us. When a person tries to interfere with your destiny, how dare they? Because your existence challenges theirs and your progress feels like a bitter pill to them. You didn't hurt them. Your progress made them confront the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. People who refuse to grow and resent those who do. They want to know how are you growing? What made you think like that? Why are you moving like that? Because who refuse to change resent those who evolve. They resent your success. People who refuse to heal, they resent those who rise. Those on demon time because your progress proves they wasted their time. They wasted their lives. They lost the best thing that ever happened to them. And it proves they settled in life. It proves they sabotaged themselves by coming after you. And it proves they made excuses while you transformed. Your success is their regret, and regret can turn a person into an enemy overnight. And it presents a danger for us. It's not a glamorous walk and path that we have. It's not comfortable and it's definitely not easy. When you are called spiritually, your existence is disruptive. So it interrupts patterns, it exposes intentions, and it reveals character. And so people who are spiritually empty, they see your purpose as a threat. People who are spiritually weak, they see your resilience as disrespect. People who are spiritually compromised, they see your presence as a problem. They're on demon time because you remind them of everything they are not and everything they will never become. You don't fight them, you outgrow them. You keep growing, you keep learning. You don't waste your time and your money on them. Use it for yourself. You don't have to treat them to go out to dinner so you can have company. Go out alone. Your focus is your protection. Your discipline is your shield and your evolution is your defense. So you're going to begin to move in silence, but with strategy because you're now moving on purpose. Your decisions are it's decisive. You know what you made your decision and you are ready to act. And you're going to do it in peace and you're going to do it in distance, far away from them. So you don't have to explain yourself and you don't have to give anyone a warning. You don't have to hope they'll change, and you can stop trying to prove your loyalty. They don't give a damn. Stop handing out access to people who mishandled you. When someone is on demon time, you don't negotiate, you don't debate, and you don't please. You disconnect, you advance, and you elevate. You are chosen by God. You rise. Your rise is the revenge. They don't want you to stay emotionally stable, because the more you stay grounded in who you are, the less their attacks can touch you. So they have been thriving off of your reaction and your tears and you pleading and you wondering why, you complaining. They need you to respond. They need you to break. They need you to collapse, and they need you to question yourself. Is it me? What have I done? I've been only good to you. I never cheated. I never talked about you. I always give you when you need me to give you. I'm there. But the moment you stop feeding their hunger for chaos and drama, their influence is going to crumble. Your silence is going to break them more than your words ever could. So yes, your haters are on demon time. But here's what they don't understand. You weren't sent here to please them. You weren't sent here to comfort them, and you weren't sent here to fit in with them. You were sent here to stand out in a way that exposes everything they tried to hide. Their obsession is not your problem. Their hostility is not your responsibility. Their fixation is not your assignment. Your only job is to keep moving. When someone has been on demon time against you, the first thing they do when their attacks fail is go silent. Not because they're healed, and not because they're matured, and not because they have any regret, because they're now studying you. They're trying to figure out how you survive what should have broken you, why their usual tactics stop working, why you're still rising without their approval. Who said you can do that? Who said you can go there? Who said you can go back to school? Who said you can accept that promotion? Who said you can resign from this job? Who told you? Who told you? Why you did not collapse under pressure? Because this silence isn't peace, it's recalculating. See, they're trying to gear back up, but they got to stay close. They're trying to rewrite your story. And once they see you rising, your haters will begin rewriting the past. They'll pretend, oh, I never doubted you. I never wished failure on you. I was supportive the whole time. You misunderstood what I was doing. That was not my intention. Because this is their attempt to clean up their reputation, because they can no longer deny your elevation. They're embarrassed, but they'll never admit it. So they'll try to get close again. Some of the same people who tried to break you attempt to come back around. The moment they realize you're blessed, stable, and unbothered. But they don't come back for peace. They come back for access, influence, information, benefits, association, and proximity to your progress. They're not apologizing, they're circling. They want the updated version of you without acknowledging how they treated the old version of you. They start watching you like it's their full-time job. People who were on demon time don't just disappear. They monitor you even if it's from a distance, and they'll notice fake pages. You'll begin to notice the fake pages, the mutual asking of questions. Different people asking the same thing. Sudden curiosity, random observers, and quiet surveillance. I was wondering how a relative of mine was so, seemed like they knew everything about me and my work, right? And what happened was they asked me, they said, oh, there's a new house on my block. I think it's perfect for you. And I said, oh, really? And they was like, yes. And then my family member said to me the same week via phone, there's a house next door to me that's going to be going up for sale. I think it'd be perfect for you. That's not coincidence. They're not just random observers. That's their quiet surveillance, because what they first did didn't work, and they're curious. Their hate didn't end for me, and it won't end for you. It just moved into a corner where they think you can't see it. And the truth is, they're still obsessed. So they try to copy the very thing they mocked. Once your strength becomes undeniable, your haters start imitating you. Things they laughed at, denied, mocked, and rejected, they suddenly try to duplicate. Because deep down, they always admired the very thing they tried to destroy. Their hate was fueled by envy, not superiority. They tried to damage your names in rooms you haven't reached yet. And people who are on demon time, they don't give up. They shift into subtle tactics. They won't confront you directly anymore. They'll ask you to buy the house next door. They'll go behind your back. They'll undermine you quietly. They'll spread twisted versions of events. They'll warn others not to be around you. They'll warn others about you like you are some type of, I don't know. They'll misrepresent your character to them and paint you as a villain. But they're not trying to harm who you are now. They're trying to block who you are becoming. But the truth will overrule them. You're going to step into a level they can't touch. Every attack that failed becomes a promotion for you, and you're going to rise with more resilience, awareness, emotional strength, discernment, boundaries, and self-respect. You are not who you were when they first attacked. You're stronger and they know it. So stop explaining and start executing. The chosen reach a point where they don't justify anything anymore. They don't explain your decisions. They don't announce your plans. And you don't reassure insecure people. They want you to explain. They want you to announce. And if they can't get you to do it, they need you to get closer. And your silence scares them because they can't strategize against your silence. And your results would become your voice. You receive opportunities that were never meant to be blocked. You thought you had bad luck. But once you detach from the people who were fighting you, doors that were spiritually jammed begin to open. You'll see the unexpected favor, the aligned connections, the unblocked creativity, easier momentum, clear direction, and higher positioning. Not because they stopped attacking, but because you've stopped giving them access to your life. You outgrow everyone who was at war with you. Every hater that was on demon time played themselves into being irrelevant. And so you rise and they stay stuck. You advance and they repeat cycles. You transform, but they stay bitter. Your destiny moves you forward while their life stays in the same place, the same state where they tried to harm you. You become unbothered by any future attacks. You've seen the worst they can do. You felt it deeply and you survived. And now you can be unshaken. Once a chosen one reaches this point, the game changes completely. What used to intimidate you no longer moves you. What used to offend you no longer touches you. What used to break you no longer affects you because you become spiritually untouchable. Those haters who are on demon time will watch quietly, pretend they've changed, try to re enter, attempt to damage you, and fail again because the fight was never between you and them. It was between who you were and who you were becoming. And now, who you're becoming already won. Thank you for visiting my channel. Stay conscious, stay covered, and I'll see you on the next one.